A strong cold front will bring some fresh winds and some heavy rain to parts of our area. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi, my friends. Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. We are your home for Caribbean weather. Hey, it's great to see you for this latest video. I hope things are well. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. Coming up in this video, it's that time of the year. Cold front slipping into our western zone is going to provide some heavy rain and gusty winds and some cooler weather. Fresh trade winds are also going to be whipping about, the opportunity for some increased rain chances in the eastern side of the area as we move through the week. As always, Meteo Mundo is sponsored by the Lane Law Firm of Central Florida, your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. They offer free consultation and policy review, so if you've had property damage of any kind, they'll walk you through that insurance claim process. You got nothing to lose. Check them out by going to leanonmelaw.com for more information. As always, love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comment section below what's been happening, what the weather has been like. You can see on this animated surface analysis, we have a couple of boundaries in play, one over the northwest Bahamas, another tailing front over western Cuba and back into the southwest Gulf, and along that we're getting showers and storms, and these are your current temperatures, which near that boundary are in the 70s and lower 80s. Bermuda right now is just in the 60s Fahrenheit, and most of our area today topped off in the 80s with a couple of spots like over in Haiti and Port-au-Prince getting above 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is a very complex situation here in the western Atlantic through portions of the Gulf. We have several areas of low pressure. We have some cold fronts. We have some mid-level features. We call those troughs. We have developing gale conditions and then our fresh easterly trade winds. So what I do expect here is that it is going to be a very active forecast near these boundaries the next couple of days, because these boundaries are also not going anywhere anytime soon as well. So let's get into an area that's going to see some showers and a few storms and fresh winds, and that's going to be the northwest side of the Bahamas. Showers and storms are developing at the hour, coming along that boundary and south from places like Fort Lauderdale and Miami, Florida, and then moving from west to east over the Bimini, Freeport, Lucaya areas of Grand Bahama. And again, my friends, it's not just going to be some showers. There's going to be some embedded lightning with this. So pockets of very heavy rain and some gusty winds. The winds right now in South Florida are 20 to 30 miles an hour. Breezes are likely to develop in that fashion in the northwest Bahamas late Monday and on Tuesday. We've had a small craft caution for the northwest Bahamas today, and we're likely to see that. Even sheltered locations are running around 4 to 5 feet right now in the northwest Bahamas, and we're likely to see that small craft caution extended into Tuesday as well. But clearly moisture is abound along and south of this boundary, and that's not going anywhere the next couple of days. Now, I know it looks ominous there, but you don't get too much farther south, and it's actually been a lovely day. The winds are fresh. You can see things are kicked up here, Governor's Harbor and Central Eleuthera, but just a little bit farther south on the island chain, you get more sunshine. Eventually, Central Eleuthera will get into some better rain chances on Tuesday and Wednesday, but again, there's Eleuthera right here. We're mainly talking about places like the Abacos to the north. If I show you guys the visible satellite imagery, you can clearly see that there's some extra cloud coverage here, but there has still been some sunshine for Walker's Key and the Abacos and all the way down towards Nassau, New Providence as well. Generally speaking, the farther south that you go in the Bahamas, things are going to be a little bit quieter. These boundaries aren't going to make it that far south, so from places like Exuma and Long Island towards the Acklins and Grand Turk, we're going to see more dry hours and locations in that part of the area. Showers and storms will begin to develop as they are right now on the western sides of Cuba, from Matanzas and Havana off towards the west, a few scattered showers towards Cienfuegos, and then we follow that right on over towards the northeast sides of Quintana Roo. And again, we follow the boundary, and along that boundary, we're seeing the showers and storms beginning to develop. Some of this could be on the locally heavier side from Merida and Campeche, Cancun, Cozumel, back down towards the Tulum areas. And again, it's not just some rain. We're going to have some thunderstorm activity. Temperatures here have been held at bay because of the cloud coverage and the extra rain. Watch the storms move in towards Cancun, and their temperature drops down to 77 degrees Fahrenheit. We've had some extra cloud coverage along coastal sides of Belize for today as well. A few scattered showers and storms. They've been, localized, but they've been heavier from time to time as well. It's also been a fairly overcast, cooler day in these areas. You get a little bit farther off towards the east, towards the Bay Bay Islands. We've had more sunshine for today. It's been breezy from time to time, but temperatures haven't been bad at all. Roatan about 86. Again, not a lot of fresh wind outside. These are the wind gusts, and nothing has been very significant here. Now, as we get back into the rest of the greater Antilles and then off towards the east, generally speaking at this point in time, we're going to get a little bit drier weather to continue to filter in. It's not going to be completely dry. We're going to have some localized showers. We'll go back over to the Cayman Islands first here. And again, a couple of spotty showers with the easterlies. You notice that that's the direction that the clouds are moving, and then a little bit farther off towards the west you have a little bit of a westerly mid-level wind. That interaction could provide a couple of additional showers in the Cayman Islands the next few days. I'm expecting there to be localized showers here across Jamaica. At the hour, there is no lightning associated with any of the showers that are trying to roll through. It has been a relatively cloudy afternoon though, especially for the central and the eastern parishes from St. Anne and Clarendon parishes off east towards St. Catherine and St. Mary and Portland and St. Thomas and St. Andrew parishes, including Portmore, Spanish Town, and Halfway Tree. And again, a little bit of extra clouds, a few showers here or there. If you had a little bit of rain in Jamaica, please let me know in the comments section below. Scattered showers have also been developing across portions of Hispaniola, but generally speaking, it's been a little bit quieter for today. I do expect this to be an area that is likely to get some rain each and every day over the next 3 or 4 days, but the rain totals and the rain chances aren't going to be appreciably high, and a little bit of extra cloud coverage on the southern side of Hispaniola for today. Fresh winds abound across Puerto Rico and the U.S. and British Virgin Islands on this Monday, and again, it's led to a few passing showers. The easterly trades are certainly in command here this time of the year. We're also going to get a trough that moves in, and that is going to spell better rain chances for the Lesser Antilles, the Virgin Islands, and Puerto Rico as we go through the midweek hours. But for the rest of today, many dry hours and locations, although the winds will be kicked up from time to time. Same situation across the Leeward Islands, although we've had a little bit more cloud coverage, we've had a little bit more in the way of some spottier rain. High surf advisories are going to come back into play starting tomorrow for places like Antigua and Barbuda, and additional high surf advisories or overall marine advisories are likely in the Eastern Caribbean the next 48 to 72 hours as this trough moves by. It's going to churn up some of the wave conditions out there, especially on the windward sides of the islands. And again, the winds have been a little bit fresher today as well. Guadeloupe has had a 28-mile-an-hour wind, and of course we lose our visible satellite imagery a little bit earlier today, but you can clearly see there's been some extra clouds through most of the Lesser Antilles, including Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia has had some cloud coverage for today, Barbados, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines as well. We have our camera live here in Corinth, St. Lucia. This is what I love. It's an exclusive thing we can bring you here at Meteo Mundo. This camera shot from the Corinth area. First of all, there's the clouds. Secondly, there is a little bit of passing shower activity as these clouds briskly work their way through the islands. Again, it's in and out of one area very quickly, but it's not a completely dry forecast. And as this trough gets closer, there are going to be additional showers produced with some of this cloud cover. So rain chances will be only going up. But again, it's a beautiful late afternoon here, but gorgeous shot as we look off towards the west from Corinth. And you can clearly see again some of the showers that come by with some of the passing clouds. And again, marine advisories are up for Barbados as well. Grenada, TNT, passing showers. Nothing concentrated more in Trinidad and Tobago today compared to other areas of the Windward Islands. So it's not like the southern latitude islands are getting more rain overall. This is all just very disorganized showers across the entire Eastern Caribbean. Same situation for Nueva Esparta. We could catch a couple of showers here or there. I'm expecting rain chances to stay on the lower side in the ABC Islands the next few days, but not completely dry. And certainly the easterlies have kicked up here in the Oranjestad area of Aruba, 30-mile-an-hour wind. But you get this far west, and they haven't yet to see the impacts of that trough and the extra clouds, so they get a beautiful sun-splashed afternoon here for the Eagle Beach area. Certainly, again, the breeze is up a bit. It's not as high as what it was earlier in the day, but still some 15 to 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts. But hey, listen, nothing but aqua there on the shoreline. It's a beautiful late afternoon. Friends, I appreciate you guys. As we move on to the forecast, thanks for taking a second, hitting that like button. Please join our Meteo Mundo weather community. It's a fantastic one. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thanks for sharing this channel with your family and friends. Our memberships are available. That's the join button. For as little as 99 cents a month, you can become a member of Meteo Mundo. You want to support the channel that way, I ask you to please consider doing so. And thank you for those who have found other ways via the super thanks as well. I did it again, just like I did in the last video where I don't have this up. I have to rearrange that. I promise I will. It's okay. It's not a big deal. Let's get into what I expect for, first of all, the winds, just real quickly here. So let me bring up the wind vectors. I just want you guys to notice a few things here, right? For the Bahamas, these winds are going to mainly be out of the north. And let me make this vector field just a little bit bigger here, guys, so it's a little bit easier to see. So we are going to push in a fresh north wind in the northern and northwest Bahamas. Slightly cooler air as well, all right? Slightly cooler air will be coming along for the ride. Now, as we get into the central and the southeast Bahamas, south of that boundary, winds will be a little bit more out of the west or very light in nature. And then everyone else is likely to have a bit of an easterly component to your wind. Your purples and pinks are your stronger winds, 20 to 25 miles an hour, okay? The blues, 15, up to the purple right around 20. So again, Eastern Caribbean, ABC Islands, just like we've mentioned, we're going to stay with some gusts over 25 and 30, and these onshore breezes will continue until you get into the northern sides of Quintana Roo, where those winds will be more out of the north. So even Cancun and Cozumel and Merida are likely to see north winds, which will reinforce a little bit of cooler and wetter conditions. So here's what it looks like over the next couple of days. We'll start off in the Eastern Caribbean. Again, I want to be clear. I don't expect anything to be organized, but I do expect rain chances to be on the rise, especially on Wednesday for a vast majority of the Lesser Antilles. That is from Trinidad and Tobago all the way up towards Anguilla. I do expect there to be a higher concentration of rain overall from the Martinique, Dominique areas north, especially Guadeloupe, Montserrat, Antigua, Barbuda are likely to have the highest rain chances out of all the islands, but not much higher than everyone else. St. Kitts and Nevis, Saba, St. Eustatius, St. Martin, St. Barts, and Anguilla, all with moderate to high rain chances over the next few days, especially Tuesday, peaking on Wednesday. Some of that rain could be locally heavy. Most of it is more fast-moving showers. And again, the winds will be a story and kicking up the sea conditions here to go along with the ride. Back to the Windward Islands again, same situation, just a little bit lower concentration. Barbados, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, TNT. TNT is not under a situation or a scenario where they're likely to have much higher rain chances than everyone else. So it's not about the lower latitudes this time around. It's just about this broad trough moving through our area. We'll continue to freshen up the winds and higher rain chances for the Virgin Islands as well. But again, you have outdoor plans. This is likely not to impact those for the most part. However, for boaters, for mariners, you want to keep an eye on things, right? Especially getting into the exposed waters and on the windward sides of the islands, because certainly the sea conditions could be turned up several meters as far as some swells could be moving in. And we'll see some passing showers over Vieques and Culebra in the eastern sides of Puerto Rico. Expecting a few scattered showers to work their way towards Punta Cana and Santo Domingo and Puerto Plata on the DR side of Hispaniola, with isolated rain over Haiti, but again, not as concentrated the farther west that you go. Southeast Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, it's a relatively dry forecast over the next few days. The boundary doesn't get that far south. You can clearly see it beginning to stall out, and then the moisture along that moving from west to east away from the islands. The best chance for rain is going to be from Cat Island north. Andros, New Providence, and Eleuthera, certainly towards the Abacos, Grand Bahama, Bimini, and Walker's Key. So higher rain chances, some decent totals, and just like this afternoon, I can't even rule out a few rumbles of thunder coming along for the ride. And with the north wind, it is going to be pulling in some cooler air. You want to talk about some cooler air, Bermuda's in the thick of it. Rain the next few days, some near gale conditions, and temperatures that are likely to stay in the 60s Fahrenheit for daytime highs with some pretty breezy northerly winds. But it is December, and Bermuda sees that from time to time. If we follow the front back through western Cuba, which by the way has a much higher rain chance than southeast Cuba over the next couple of days, you'll see that the rain chances overall for Quintana Roo and places like coastal Belize and Guatemala will stay elevated. Even inland sides of Belize and Guatemala, San Ignacio there in Orange Walk, likely to see decent rain chances. A rumble of thunder is not out of the question. Overall, moisture content is pretty good for this time of the year. So, the Bay Islands and San Pedro Sula and La Ceiba, all with moderate rain chances over the next couple of days. Rain will be a little bit more scattered in the Cayman Islands, but not completely dry as well. So Grand Cayman, Little Cayman, and Cayman Brac could run underneath a passing shower, but again, not a lot of rain in the forecast. And even if these showers move through, a lot of them won't be heavy. I have moderate rain chances at best in Jamaica. You can see that each day we're going to get a little bit of green on the map, but there is nothing concentrated from the Port Antonio area to Mandeville, Maypen, to Savalumar, to Negril, and Montego Bay. So if you have outdoor plans, the next few days should be fine. We do not have the strong wind and large wave advisory. The winds aren't that fresh, but there'll still be some localized breezes from time to time as well. And then back down towards the rest of Central America, it's a little bit wetter near our monsoon trough and our Central American gyre, but as we get into December, it's waning a little bit, but still somewhat active for Panama and Costa Rica, and rain chances will stay on the medium side for the ABC Islands. Nothing extremely concentrated, but especially some morning showers are likely for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, and then trying to dry out a bit in the afternoon hours. Okay, back over now to the island by island forecast, which looks like this. Northwest Bahamas tomorrow, 50% chance for showers and an isolated thunderstorm. Still 40 on Wednesday and then drying out on Thursday. And again, just not nearly as high in the central and southeast Bahamas the next few days. Best chance will be tomorrow. Turks and Caicos, very isolated rain right on through Thursday. Cuba's rain chances are highest tomorrow and highest on the western side of the island. You get off to the southeast side of the island, many dry hours there. 30% chance on Thursday. Cayman Islands, low rain chances through Thursday. Belize City's best rain chances are 50 tomorrow, 30 on Wednesday, but then back up to a 40 on Thursday. Don't think that, the rain chances overall in northern Central America and Quintana Roo are going to fall off appreciably through Thursday. Rain chances will stay on the moderate side in most areas, including Cancun and Cozumel. 20 tomorrow in Jamaica, 30 Wednesday and Thursday. The Dominican Republic stays with an even 40% chance for the next 3 days. Puerto Rico goes from a 30 tomorrow to a 40 on Wednesday and Thursday. We'll start to see more fresh winds coming into the Virgin Islands, upping the rain chance with some of the passing showers Wednesday and Thursday. Bermuda's rain chances are on the moderate side with fresh winds and some cooler weather. Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, relatively isolated tomorrow, spiking up to a 70% chance for rain. Gusty winds and probably some marine advisories Wednesday and into Thursday. It will tail off a bit on Thursday, but that's still a pretty high chance here. 50% chance Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, Guadeloupe, and Dominica. Again, kind of bookend, if you will, with a little bit lower chances. And on Wednesday, that tent pole, if we call it there, with the high rain chances, 70% chance Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, Guadeloupe, 60 in Dominica. Fairly average rain chances for Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines, highlighted by better rain chances overall on Wednesday. Just a little bit more flat rain chance from Barbados south, including Grenada and TNT. 40 tomorrow in most areas, then about a 30 to a 40 on Wednesday and Thursday. Moderate rain chances in Suriname and Guyana. And I've got isolated to scattered rain each day in Nueva Esparta and the ABC Islands. It's not going to be completely dry, but don't be shocked if you get maybe one day of wet weather out of the next 3 in those areas. Once again, this time of the year, the cold fronts have some big impacts to the Western Caribbean and portions of the Gulf. The north winds can work their way into the Northwest Caribbean, and that freshens up some of the sea conditions. So when you look at this map, look for the greens and the yellows. Those are wave heights of at least 7 to 8 to 9 feet. You get to 10, and now you're getting into those yellows, and that's what we're talking about, some 2.5, 3+ meter wave heights. Again, there's your easterlies coming into the Lesser Antilles. We'll have to watch out if anything gets a little bit more fresh here in portions of Central America. And as I've mentioned, we have to also watch out for continued elevated sea conditions in portions of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos over the next couple of days. Rainfall-wise, as the boundary stalls, that's where we're going to have your highest rain totals. Again, Northwest Bahamas, portions of Southeast Florida, and the Keys, and then working its way off towards the east. By the end of the period, we could still see some wet weather across Caribbean coastal sections of Mexico and Central America. Everyone has an opportunity for some rain. There's not many areas that are likely to be completely dry, but rain totals will be lower for Cuba and Jamaica and southeast sides of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, and the Lesser Antilles in general. But again, rain chances, they'll be elevated a bit, especially on Wednesday. Friends, I appreciate you guys. You can follow us across all of our social media platforms. We're on Instagram, TikTok, X, and Facebook. As always, send me a picture or video to help tell the weather story in your area. The easiest way to do that is going to be mymeteomundo@gmail.com. You got a question about the forecast, feel free to drop it in the comments section below. Please remember, Meteo Mundo is sponsored by the Lean Law Firm of Central Florida, your hometown homeowners insurance attorneys. Wind, hail, hurricane damage, they'll walk you through that insurance claim process. leanonmelaw.com for more information. I really do appreciate you guys finding enough out of this channel to spend part of your day with me. Thank you for that. Have a great rest of your day, and I'm back soon with your latest forecast right here at Meteo Mundo.